Okay, amigos, here we go again. So when last we left off, Lucky Rodriguez and his team of elite super spy mercenaries were in a little spider hole in the middle of nowhere on the Syrian border of Turkey. So we finish our goal and I proceed to get hammered. So I begin drinking. I've got my big bottle of tequila. I get wasted, and then I hiccup out, and I start talking to this guy. I start discussing with him what he knows so we can find out. The other guys, Spook and T, they're like, hey, we should cover up his eyes so he can't see us. And I'm like, he retains full memory when I possess him. And they're like, wow, you leave way too many loose ends. No, man, we don't need to kill them. No, man. We need to kill them! Man, no. Let me convince this person that America is good. You should vote for Ross Perot. Come over here, learn the language, and get your citizenship. It's awesome. I get him convinced, and of course he's drunk, because I got drunk before I hiccuped out. And then I'm like, okay man, good news. I am convinced that you believe all this. Now I'm going to talk to the other two, and based off of how you convince them, they not kill you. They might kill you. And he begins crying. I'm like, oh man. Well, what can we do? I get on the couch. Okay, so this guy says, back when there was a little Rush conflict, the UN did an embargo on the country so no one can get in or out. The selling of the American soldiers started. About this same time, this fellow comes by, no insignia or nothing. And he says, hey, you get Americans, we'll give you cash. And this guy, he checked out with their chain of command. Their bosses all knew who he was. So I explained that he's all about America. T's on Overwatch. He starts poking around. He sees that they're starting to look like in the direction we've gone. But he's super duper sneaky. He's invisible and stuff. So he ninjas his way on up. And he puts a tracker on one of their jeeps. And Spook is like, Lucky, can I talk to you over here for a minute? I'm like, no hand grenades. Fine, no hand grenades. And when I walk out, he walks in and he shoots this poor guy in the head twice. And he says, you have got to learn to clean up after your own messes. We've come too far in this mission to be caught because you've been leaving witnesses to what's going on. We didn't have to kill him. So while we're sitting there, we start to hear the sounds of horror movies going on. We got chainsaws, we got people screaming, and it's coming from Spook's computer, and it's got people getting butchered horribly, like Saw or Hostel, that sort of thing. What it is a YouTube video. The ID from a tattoo that this is elite special forces, the U.S. military. U.S. soldiers are being butchered in a deadly game of cat and mouse. So we start using the computer and the GPS tracker. We're transmitting signals. They're looking for us. They will find us. We need to get moving. We start heading out. We start walking across the desert. While we walk, we talk. And T says to me, Lucky, you can't keep grabbing people like this. You can't keep just taking people for a ride like you have. You've got this glue gun. You haven't even fired it yet. But you keep on abducting these people. You keep on capturing them. And then they get into situations where we're not going to be able to let them go. I feel like a murderer rolling around with you because we've got to execute these people. No, we don't have, we couldn't, it makes sense too. Oh yeah, it makes sense too. And you, he looks over at Spook. I don't mean to, it's not that I just, you kill people all the time. No, I do what I want. You kill people at the drop of a hat. We've got to do what we've got to do. You brought a hat. We're mercenaries. You enjoy killing people. We're hardcore! Yeah, but all the time? You need to quit taking people as often as you do because it wears you out. It's true, you know, I get pretty tired pretty quick. And you need to quit killing people. So we walk for a ways. No. We found this nearby settlement, and so we walk on up to it, take a look at it. I post up to keep overwatch, the other two ninja on in, and I stay back.
I use my X-ray vision.
I take a look around where they're at as they keep moving through, and I watch them sneak their way through this little town where everyone has got a rifle, because it's right on the Syrian border. So we find out the best place that has cars is this big nice building in the middle of town. There's guards around, they're looking for trouble. And there's a bunch of people who are trying to have like someone's cumpleaños. They sneak on up. I manipulate the laws of probability to make it less likely that a guard will walk over and look around at what's going on.
What are you doing?
I use my X-ray vision. I pick out the car that's in the best shape. And what it is, it's like a Cadillac that's been modified so someone can stand at the back with a light machine gun. And it's got a full tank of gas. It's in good shape. It's okay. We'll take it. They GTA this car, and we see that there's a formation of helicopters kind of headed our way. So we leave fast. So we get the car, they pick me up as they're leaving town. We drive off, we find that there's someone tried to put up housing here, an abandoned subdivision. So we set up shop there for a little while. We make ourselves nice and comfortable, we take a rest. We've been moving straight through for a long time. Lucky, he's gone to the trouble of scrounging clothes so he blends in. Spook has put on a new face, and T is invisible. So we drive out toward where we figure out this slaughter dome is. U.S. soldiers are being butchered in a deadly game of cat and mouse. So we start heading that way to stop it. And we see there's a truck, flashes us with the lights, and Spook is driving. I'm like, why are we pulling over? Yeah, they tell us we need to get out. So we park the car. They have a normal inspection sort of thing get started. The guy comes walking up with the AK.
Help us, please.
Asks us what we're doing here. Spook, he starts trying to text to me because he does not speak the language and I do. He starts trying to text to me and ka-chow! This guy pulls his AK out and then he opens fire. This machine gun goes off in his face and he gets a couple grazes, a couple scratches, a couple scrapes. Musses his hair just a bit. And this irritates Spook. He busts out his sniper rifle and he begins planting his shots. T whacks this guy who's opened up on us with his AK. He's still invisible. So he jumps into the truck and he hits this poor fool really hard. Nearly knocks his head off. And then people start piling out of the truck double quick. And T mops the floor with them. He pops out and he BAM! Bing! Knocks the two of them out. Slides on under and he pops up on the other side. Beer! Beer! The combat, it was not very long and it went pretty good. Some of them get shot. So we beat these guys down. We gather all their stuff. We keep it for ourselves. We jury rig a truck so that it will just drive. We use the brick on the gas pedal thing. A little morally questionable, I think, but it should drive them out into the desert. It's going to make them unhappy for a few hours, but it should not kill them. They should be alright. And we drive back a half hour to the place where we rested before. So we got the truck, we got the uniforms. I put on the captain's uniform because I should be in charge. I wear it with pride, I do. Yes. And I sit in the passenger seat because officers don't drive. So we have me, the officer, and two other soldiers, and we drive from here to there. Spook sets up his office so he can start moving stuff around from here to there. We've got contact info for the boss who gave us the job initially. He wants us to do more stuff. So now we're taking a little siesta. We're taking a little break.